Good evening. It is great to be here with you today, and my name is Carol Ford. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Customer Service for Regal Home and Gifts, and we are having a great time just getting this company off and going. And I just thank you so much for all of your great comments about the products and the service and all of those things that you're enjoying. We also appreciate any concerns that you have. You know, it's important for us to hear where we can improve and where you want to provide some feedback. So we are always open to hearing those as well. So thank you so much for your partnership in this venture. We look forward to seeing this company just really take off, and that's going to happen because of partnership. It's going to happen because we are in tune with each other, supporting one another and being there for each other, company and ambassadors. So thank you so much for this partnership. It's going to be a great journey together. Before we get started with the program tonight, I'm going to just put everybody off of mute. I'm going to take you off of mute so that you can say hello to everyone and let everyone know where you're coming from tonight. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Ontario.
Hi, it's Megan from Ottawa.
Hi, it's Ann from Brampton.
Hush.
Mississauga.
Hi, it's Brenda from Timmins.
Hi, Marilyn from St. Catharines.
Ottawa.
Hi, it's Penny from Mountain Grove.
Shan Smith too. Tragically hit by big first bell.
Okay, we need to hear from others from outside of Ontario. Who do we have from the other provinces?
Arlene.
Yes, honey.
Okay.
Diane from Saskatchewan.
Now, and we're going to get started. So thank you so much. It's great to hear your voices. Let me just put you all in mute. I'm going to ask that you keep yourselves in mute during the presentation. I know sometimes you're kind of searching around in the buttons there and you accidentally hit the unmute. And if you do, I will mute you back just because it does create some distractions. And so I will continue to mute everyone other than the ones that are speaking in today's program. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We have a great evening planned for you. You have nominated some individuals who are going to be up for the advisory council votes. And so these nominees will be sharing with you tonight and tomorrow night on both of the webinars, and they are answering questions that you have produced. Those of you that are on the Facebook group, the corporate Facebook group, you submitted some questions in the last week, and we are going to be addressing those questions for you. And I'm sure if they're on your mind, they're on many other people's minds too. So let's first of all talk about the discussion panel. We are going to be addressing those questions, as I said, that were posted by ambassadors. You're going to learn from experienced leaders. These individuals, in order to be nominated for the advisory council, need to be at least a gold level. So they're gold, platinum, and diamond leaders. And so you're going to hear from them. They have experience in building their Regal business, and now they want to share that experience with you so that you can perhaps avoid some of the hurdles that they had to go through. You're going to meet them, 4 of them this evening, and then others tomorrow evening. So let's have a look at who we have, how the advisory council works. First of all, the role of a council member is to be your voice. We have put together this program so that we have key leaders that you are nominating, and they are going to represent you, represent your voice. So there will be an opportunity for you to submit any questions, any feedback, recommendations, concerns that you would like the advisory council to take to the table when they meet with me on a bi-weekly basis. We will be meeting through conference or webinar, depending on what we need to cover in that particular meeting. And as I said, it'll be bi-weekly. And so you'll be able to submit by email any of the things that you would like them to cover as part of our agenda for those meetings. The role of the council members is to not only represent you, but to also represent us, the company, to you, so that they're holding both responsibilities of bringing the communication one way and then back the other way. And so these need to be individuals that are very professional. They can be relied upon to deliver the message accurately, and they're also individuals who have some great experience that they can bring to the table and give the company some direction on things that we would be making decisions on. This benefits all of you, because as they come and work with us at the corporate to work through some decision making, it helps to shape the future in the way that is good for both. And as I said at the beginning, it's a partnership. And so the only way a partnership works is if it's both sides are benefiting. And that's the purpose of the advisory council. So selection, how do you select somebody? How do you nominate them? How do they then get selected as the final council members? And who can be a part of that? Well, as I said, it's gold, platinum, or diamond level leaders. And how they are going to be nominated is you personally can nominate people that you know. But also, in addition to that, we are going to ask any of you who are wanting to have your name stand for the advisory council, and that you meet all the other qualifications in the document that lists your qualifications. And if you don't have that already and you're not on Facebook, you can request it by emailing us at ambassadors@regal.ca, and we will send you that outline. Now, if you're interested in being nominated, we will ask for a biography of why you would bring great value to this body of advisors. And so that information will then be compiled into a document, and it will be linked to the newsletter that we're putting out in March. Okay, and so we do need you to submit those to us so that in the March newsletter we can notify individuals, notify everyone of the individuals who want their name to stand, and then they can nominate accordingly. Okay, so just a quick recap on that. How do you get nominated? You can either have somebody nominate you, or you can nominate someone else, or you can submit your bio so that we can include it in the whole group of bios. And even those of you that are already nominated, we're going to ask you to do a short bio, just a short paragraph of who you are, what your experience is, and what you would bring to the table in order to be of value to this council. Okay, nominations can be sent to ambassadors@regal.ca. The deadline is March 31st. We are accepting nominations up until the 31st. You give your name, and you see all the information on your screen there. So you're providing the information so that we can have the details of what we need to know. So your name, the person that's nominating, the person that you are nominating, the nominee, their name and their ID number, and then the reason why you think they would be a really good nominee. And then in the subject line, just put advisory council so it doesn't get lost in all the other emails that we get, and it'll be forwarded to me. And then the last point is vote on top nominees from the April newsletter. We were going to do this at the April event, but at the April event, we will announce who the winners are. But we will likely even announce it before then, because I am really anxious to get this body in place. And so March 31st, all the nominations need to be in. And when we put out the newsletter in April, which is always at the beginning of every month, that's where we will put out the top nominees, and you get to submit your votes for those. And then shortly thereafter, we will announce the winners. Okay, so let me not take any more time on this. I am really anxious to hear from your advisory council nominees who are in place already. And so these individuals have been nominated by their peers, and they are on the list of nominees that you will be voting for. So as you can see on the screen, we have Wendy Franko, who is Diamond, and she's from Lakefield, Ontario. I'm going to ask Wendy to come on and just say a little bit about herself. Yeah, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself there, Wendy. This is catching them off guard. I never gave them a heads up on this. So Wendy, just tell us briefly what you're all about.
What am I all about? Well, I eat, drink, and sleep Regal. I've been a Regal rep since 1984. I seriously started as a full-time business in 2006. And I'm hoping to get back where I was last August, lickety-split.
Excellent. Okay, thanks for sharing. And let's see here. Mary, are you on? Yep, Mary,
Yes,
go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mary Lottie from Thunder Bay, and it's very cold up here right now. I've been with people from your age as well, and I have enjoyed it. And I've been doing it for a while. And full time now because I'm on I'm gonna really be full time now.
Mary, there's a sound problem there. I'm not hearing everything. Your words are breaking out. Can you try again? Okay, I'm not able to hear you, Mary, but hopefully that will not be a problem tomorrow night because we're going to be hearing from you tomorrow night. So look forward to that. I'll just send you some tips by email on some things that could improve that sound in case it's some of those things that are typically problems. And then if you want to move your control panel, because it could be that it's hiding this beautiful lady here in the top right corner, Michelle Mathers. And Michelle is from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and I just love that we have people from various provinces. And so I'm not seeing Michelle on here, so she is not able to be with us tonight actually, and that's why she's asked to be on the Tuesday night. So you'll hear from Michelle tomorrow. And we have Carol Veltin, and Carol is not able to chat verbally with us tonight. She is having some vocal cord challenges, and so she has provided me with her answers, which I will read out for her tonight. But unfortunately, we won't be able to hear from Carol on this introduction time. But Carol, we love having you, and we look forward to hearing what you have on paper that I will share with everybody. Okay, we have Karen. Karen, if you can unmute yourself, that'd be great. Excellent. If you can tell everyone about yourself.
Hi, I'm Karen. I've been sewing Regal for over 30 years, and I started out just buying it for myself, and then about 15 years ago I decided to make it a business, and have steadily grown my base, customer base, and was growing it well before August 24th arrived, but I'm anxious to get back in the swing of things and making it a successful business again.
Excellent. Okay. I guess that date will be ingrained in your minds, everyone, for a while anyway. So it's almost like that 9/11 kind of thing. You know, what were you doing on that day? But anyway, not to highlight that by any means. It was an unfortunate circumstance for all of you. Susan Johnson, I would like to have you come and share. There you are.
Well, I feel like a newcomer compared to Wendy and Karen. I've only been selling Regal for 4 years, but I am very enthusiastic about it, and I look forward to continuing with the new company and the new lines, and just really looking forward to it.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate you sharing. So today we will listen or hear from Wendy and Carol Veltin. I will read her notes, and Karen Blakely will share, and Susan Johnson. So let's jump right into the questions. If you ladies would like to unmute yourselves, and we'll try keeping you unmuted, and if we get some echo, then we may have to just have you unmute as it's your turn. So if you want to go ahead and unmute, and then there won't be any delays as we're asking the questions. So everyone, here's the first question that was asked, and it was asked by Bert Lamont, and her question was, have our gold and above given anything free to their customers to get their orders, such as free shipping? And so let's see here. I will have Susan share, and then I will read Carol Veltin's response to that. Susan, your go.
Okay. I have often offered free shipping for a certain limited time to entice orders. Another good incentive is to offer 10% off during an event, like a vendor show. But I have never given an actual gift. to my customers.
Okay. Excellent.
That's
Okay.
it.
Thank you. Was there more to add to that, Susan? I don't want to cut you off.
I just didn't end it well.
No, you're great. You're great. Not a problem. Okay, and here's Carol's response to that. Yes, I have offered free gifts as an incentive. Example, with any orders over $50, you receive a free gift. The gift was usually something from the latest book with a value of up to $10. Or if I was trying to promote one book in particular, I would do the same offer with a date. For example, purchases of $50 or more received by September 31st receive a free gift. Another incentive I have done is to have a draw. I would make up a gift basket of Regal products, usually a maximum of $50. For every $20 the customers purchased before taxes, they would be eligible for a chance to win the gift basket. I would type up the contest message on card stock of a different but bright color than the actual book and staple it on the front of the book. If customers purchased $60 worth, they would get 3 entries. Let me also add that 89% of my customers do not own or know how to operate a computer, so everything was done manually with me. I have never offered free shipping. I hope I delivered that well enough for you there, Carol. Okay, let's move on to the next question here. Karen Smith.
Carol? Here, I'm sorry, Carol?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I forgot to mention the project that I am starting this year, which is a loyalty club for my customers. So if they spend over $60, they get a loyalty card. And when they have 5 loyalty cards, they get 25% off and free shipping on their 6th order.
Okay.
So I'm starting this year.
Excellent. Okay, a lot of creativity went into that. Okay, here's our next question. This came from Karen Smith, and she has 4 questions in one. So they're on the screen, so as you're answering them, you can just look at that and go one after the other, or you can just do the overview of whichever part of that you'd like to answer. And so Karen Smith is asking, how did you start your customer base and what worked best? And then number 2, do you have a Facebook page set up? Number 3, did you offer your customers any form of discounts or free products for ordering? And number 4, what types of order limits did you ask for to receive the free product? So some of that might overlap. Some of these questions might overlap one question over the other, so you can address whichever part you want of that. Let me read to you Carol Veltin's response. Carol says, my customer base started basically like everyone else, my family and my friends. I quickly figured out that my friends lived a fair distance from me but worked close by, so I talked them into letting me deliver their orders to them at work. Well, after many coworkers noticed me coming in time after time, curiosity got the best of them and they started asking for catalogs. I think what worked best for me was that I was honest. If I thought something was junk, I would tell my customers that, but reinforce that it was only my opinion and still gave them the option to try it for themselves. I have never had a Facebook page for Regal, but I am in the process of starting one. I have offered free products for ordering. I've done 3 different kinds of offers. Order $50, receive a free gift, usually an item of up to $10. Number 2, order $50 before set date, receive a free gift. And number 3, the gift basket draw for every $20 before taxes. Customers eligible for 1 draw ticket towards the gift basket. Okay, and over to you, Karen. How would you answer this question?
Well, to start, I started my customer base like Carol with family and friends. I then decided to start giving out catalogs to where I worked and extended my boundaries a little bit. I did do a few years ago a catalog drop where I would drop catalogs on a certain street, and I'd have a note attached to the catalog that said I'm dropping it off and I'll be back on Wednesday to pick up any orders. That was marginally successful. I lost a lot of catalogs, but at the same time I also got calls much later saying, oh, I found your catalog, are you still in business? And then potentially develop a customer from there. But any orders I received from the drops, I would add them to my customer base and keep them on my list of catalogs to deliver, which I did manually with the help of my children. And then as Regal progressed and had mail delivery that you could personally deliver, I used that to reach out to all my customers. I also participated in the postal walks where you would pick a postal code to deliver to, and I would send catalogs out to random people, I guess. I would get mixed results, but I usually on each campaign picked up at least 2 or 3 customers that received my catalog and wanted to order. And others would just order online at my website, and quite honestly, I never saw them because they would order directly to their house or business, as the case may be. I also dropped catalogs everywhere I went. The hairdresser, the dentist, anywhere that I went, oh, there's a shelf, I'll leave some catalogs there. And quite often I would get a call or 2 from those. So I developed my customer base slowly, and the key was to keep in touch with those that ordered and get their email address and phone number so you could follow up with them and add them to your base as you went along. I had set up a Facebook page once upon a time, but I truthfully didn't find it that helpful. Maybe because I didn't know how to market it right, but I found it difficult to get traffic to it. Did I offer customers discounts? I would occasionally offer them a free product, usually something like the sugar bears that we used to carry, as something for them to have with a $20 order. Order limits. I didn't really have a limit. I just would say, you know, with an order you'll receive a gift, and that could have been a sugar bear, it might have been a Regal card or some wrapping paper or something very small, but a gift nonetheless.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Karen. A lot of points there. I'm taking notes on some of these things that I'd like to kind of recap at the end, so thank you so much. Okay, the next question came from Megan Murphy, and she has 2 questions. Where do you find your customers, and do you have mainly online customers or not online, or is it 50-50? Susan, I'll have you go first.
Okay. In order from when I started my business, I would say I started with postal household mailings, which I mean by that, through the mail I sent just a brochure to everyone in a postal code, and I handed out books to friends and relatives. I did the postal walk. I set up a Facebook page. Then I did more postal walks. I started my, I did some advertising on other Facebook groups, and I still do that on an ongoing basis. Not every thing, but maybe once a month. As far as online customers or not online, although I have a Facebook page with over 100 members, almost 100% of my customer orders are through me. I post catalog online, but almost all of my customers come from catalog orders. So I don't know whether my Facebook page needs work or a different approach, but as I said, most of my orders come from the catalogs.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Carol's response is a good question. Sometimes I don't find my new customers, they find me. I work hard trying to find new customers. I leave my books everywhere. I do my own postal walks. I ask friends to take a book to work with them or leave books at friends and family businesses. I also do another direct selling company and I will sneak a Regal book in with that company's orders. I'm involved with different sports organizations, so I leave books at meetings or events. I live on a main street, so I have a sign in my window. I keep track of sold houses. When the new owner moves in, I drop a book off. What a unique idea. That's great. My current customers' average age is in the high 70s. I've been very fortunate with most of them as they have passed on my name to quite a few of their friends. Great spot I found out is a hairdresser. I have 2 hairdressers where I leave my books, and I have had more new customers call just from their businesses. I mainly have non-online customers. To be perfectly honest, I have 3 customers that have email. Okay, thank you, Carol. All right, next question is from Charmaine Green, and she has 3 questions. I live in an area of 100 people. I travel at least 15 to 30 minutes to the next communities. Should I charge for delivery if I have to bring a customer their order? Number 2, how do you get customers to up their orders? And number 3, what are some products you always mention to your customers? Susan?
Okay. In regards to question number 1, she lives 15 to 30 minutes to the next community. Should I charge for delivery? I'm in sort of the same situation. I don't charge for delivery, but my answer is that I think if your customers would not be upset by it, I would charge a $5 gasoline charge. I know of cleaning people who have their own business, and they charge a $5 gasoline charge right up front, and very clear what it is. But I would build it more into your handling fee, so there's no problems with it. Gas is expensive. And how do you get customers to up their orders? I had this in my mind before the catalog arrived, and I was going to do something like Amazon's add-ons to get them to the promised land of free shipping. Thus far, it has not been needed. I haven't had a lot of orders and not big orders. A good idea would be to have an item on special this week, which you can offer to your customer when they place their order. Something that you know is nice, but not too pricey, not over $30 in my opinion. And I see I left that last part blank. What are some products you always mention to customers? Well, I always mention things that I really like. I prefer always is something that I like. And in a certain catalog, you'll always spot a few things you think are really neat, and you'll point them out to people. And, I have been doing that here already out of this catalog. Not that I've actually seen it, but to me it looks like a very nice item. I just do that on an ongoing basis.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Susan. And over to you, Wendy.
Okay, well, I actually live in an area where the majority of my customers are at least 30 minutes away, and I have always charged shipping, usually whatever the shipping would be if it was shipped directly to them, because that's usually how I actually send their orders. I do have some that I deliver to, older people or people that can't get shipping, and I still charge them the shipping and handling. And my reasoning for that is because no matter where the order is going to go, it's going to cost somebody to get there. And because I made this over the years, and I've tweaked it many times, my main business, I can't afford to be paying people shipping and handling if I actually want to have an earning at the end. And perfect example would be when we were in trouble last spring. They paid their shipping and handling. I covered the out-of-stock items, and it just about killed me. So my customers know shipping and handling is necessary, and I've never actually had anybody balk. So I'm good with that. How do I get them to up their orders? Well, that's a funny question, because I think I do it without thinking about it. Usually it'll be something like somebody's ordered something really small that shipping and handling would be kind of ridiculous. And we'll chat about some of the items in the book. And as we're chatting, because normally I visit with my customers for, well, I'm chatty, so sometimes a long time. But we'll chat about something, and it'll send us off on a tangent, and all of a sudden there'll be something in the book that will work for them. So I guess it's just a natural thing that because I talk too much, it twigs on to something they can purchase. And I always mention something that I absolutely love in the book, or that somebody else has told me they love. So now my favorite go-to product is going to be the hockey stick picture frame, because I have a customer that got hers at like 7 o'clock this morning and called me at 8 o'clock going, I need another one. And you know, previously we had some cleaning products that I absolutely can't live without. Thank goodness I had bought a couple of extra ones. So that's the kind of thing that I would mention to sort of enhance and probably to up their orders. Yeah, so I'm not going to stop talking because I am chatty.
Thank you, Wendy. And that is going to be one of the best sellers, I believe, the frame with the hockey stick. It's just amazing. So it's so Canadian, right? Hockey. Okay, let's go on to the next question here. Question number 5 is from Adrienne. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. I have an aunt by that name, and her name is Adrienne. So Adrienne O'Reilly, and she has two questions. First of all, how do you get former Regal customers back now that Regal is back? And then number 2, how do you deal with customers who aren't happy with the new revamped Regal? Karen, we'll start with you.
Well, to start with, I was fortunate enough to be able to have a copy of all of my customers' addresses and phone numbers in a spreadsheet that I had been using for ordering mail drops. So I basically went through and just went and sent the first catalog to all of my customer base. And ahead of that, I emailed them all and said, look for this catalog in your mailbox very soon, and I would like to hear what your comments are, good, bad, or indifferent, or preferably with an order. And so I did get some feedback from those people, some good, some bad, but when they called or emailed me to say, you know, they saw it but they weren't thrilled, I would try to communicate with them and say, I appreciate your feedback, I understand your concerns, and I want you to know that Regal is working very hard, the new Regal is working very hard to bring back the favorites that we had from the previous company, and that any feedback we get, we are going to respond to, and that we hope, you know, I hope that the newer catalogs will showcase, you know, the items that you used to like and aren't in it, but please tell me what they are so I can pass that information on to the new company. And so they understand it and they can appreciate it, and I will continue to follow up with them for the next, you know, catalogs, and again keep the feedback going as to what's right, what they like, what they don't like, and you know, monitor orders that new people are ordering and what they do like about the new Regal catalog. So I think it's basically staying in touch with your client base and letting them know that this is new and it's open to suggestions, so that we can tailor it to the things that the old Regal had that was successful.
Excellent. Well said, Karen. Thank you. Susan, over to you.
For the first part of the question, how do you get formal Regal customers back? Really, Regal used to sell itself, and not much was required to sell it. There are a lot of direct sales reps in our area for different companies, and our area is fairly economically depressed. I have waited a few weeks, but now is the time to make phone calls, which is not my favorite thing when a customer is not a close friend, but it must be done. And I hope that will bring in some orders. People want the catalogs. That's not a problem. It's getting orders from the catalogs. That's the problem right now. And how do I deal with customers who aren't happy with the new Regal? I tell my customers that this is a brand new Canadian company which had to start from scratch, and I explain the situation. And who have their ideas of what they would like their company to be like. I also mention that they are very good at listening to their ambassadors' suggestions, so it may be an ongoing process with the catalog. I never say that it will be the same as before, because I don't feel I can say that. And personally, I hope it won't be totally the same as before.
Okay.
As I do.
Susan, you're breaking up again. It's are you holding your phone any differently?
No, I was leaning back a bit. Is this better?
You go. That's nice and clear.
Did you hear anything of the last part?
We did, but if you can remember, if you can rewind and just do the last sentence or two, you said you're hoping that some of the old doesn't come back.
No, I didn't. I don't think I said that.
Oh, okay,
sorry. I said that it's going to be an ongoing process with the catalog as the new company listens to ambassadors' suggestions. And I never say that the catalog will be the same as it was before. And personally, I like some of the new lines, and I hope they will continue. But I do hope that some of the old Regal will be incorporated. So that's kind of how I approach my customers' concerns.
Excellent. Okay. Well, you know, Regal has the name. You talk to anybody about Regal, and invariably they know all about it. They've seen a catalog. They've either sold it, or their mother or their grandmother did. And so it's got that great name, and that will continue to carry the name out there as well. So yes, we do need to do some adjustments and whatnot, and we appreciate everybody's feedback on that. So thank you, Karen and Susan. You addressed that very well, and we do want to hear from everyone. So we are taking every feedback, every recommendation seriously, and just at this time, if I can just pause and explain how we're handling your feedback. We are keeping a list of whatever comes in on a regular basis, and then daily, whether it's 1 or 12, it doesn't matter. We take the recommendations that came into customer service that day, we take it over to the marketing department, and they are looking at each one of those very seriously. So we do value all of your input, and we encourage you to continue to keep bringing that to our attention. The best way is by ambassadors at regal.ca by email. If you email any of your recommendations to us, it's easy for us to just forward that to marketing. So, okay, over to the next question. Let's see here. Question number 6. Diane Comstock asked, as an advisor, do you plan to represent the views and needs of other ambassadors, or your view only? If other ambassadors, how do you plan to obtain those views and needs? Now, I left this blank with a picture there just because I think that this is probably more of a question that I can address. How do you plan to obtain those views and needs? So let me just explain what mechanism we will have in place. There will be an email address specifically that you can email your advisory council. So when you've got recommendations or concerns, or you just want to give some input on something, you can send those to the advisory council email address, and they will all have access to that. They'll be able to see those emails so that they can address them. And so that's the way we're going to keep the open communication, and then they can take all of those to our meetings when we meet on a bi-weekly basis. So for those of you that just joined in, the advisory council will meet every second week. We'll meet by conference call or by webinar, and we will be able to table things that we want to get their input on, and they can bring things to us as well. So there would be an agenda on what we would cover in that particular period of time. And so it's an opportunity to have your voice heard at the corporate table as we are making decisions and shaping the future of this Regal. Okay, over to question number 7. Tracy Bigelow asked, for those of you with online pages, i.e. Facebook page, what kinds of online events have you hosted on your page or with your clients? Now, Karen and Susan, I'm not sure how involved you are in Facebook or any other online pages. If you're not, you can feel free to say that, but if you have had experience, we'd love to hear from you. Let's start with Karen.
As I said, I did have a Facebook page, but I didn't have a lot of followers, so I kind of didn't pay that much attention to it. So I haven't really used that vehicle for hosting any events that I might have. I do from time to time post on my regular Facebook page that you know, if there's an interesting product that I have seen or I would like people to see, I'll post it on there. But not everybody wants to see what my business is, and it's more of, you know, my personal Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So I use it from time to time, but I don't use it exclusively, and I certainly haven't used it specifically.
Excellent. Okay, and Susan?
Well, I have talked a little bit about my use of my Facebook page and how it's been going, but I have done some events which I consider them events, like offering free shipping for a certain weekend to Facebook customers, and I promote certain products, usually one that I really like. I'll offer it at 10% off and or free shipping. Again, just for a certain length of time, so they have to catch and be checking my posts. And that's really the only online things, special things that I do, other than, you know, posting every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. This would be a good time to kind of fill in some blanks about Facebook page as well from the corporate side. I'm not sure how many of you are on this call that are involved in the Facebook group page that we have, the Regal Ambassadors group page and the Regal Leaders, but we have brought on a fantastic individual on board at the office. Her name is Carolina, and she is the Director of Marketing, and she is a guru of social media. So you're going to learn a lot from Carolina. I will have her on a future webinar where she'll be able to lead you through how to promote your business through social media, for those of you that would like to do that. But the reason I'm mentioning it, in addition to introducing Carolina right now, is also to just highlight something that she did this past week that she will continue to do with her marketing team on a regular basis, and that's to post products, to highlight products. I don't know how many of you have noticed the stainless steel cleaner that she put up there, and really spotlighted it on our Facebook group page. She will do that continually on both of those group pages, but she will also be putting it on the Regal Home and Gifts Facebook page, because that will now become a general public Facebook page so that anyone who's searching for Regal will find that. As you know, the other two groups are closed, meaning the public doesn't get in there unless they request, and they can only get in if they are registered with us as ambassadors. And so the other one, the Regal Home and Gifts Facebook page, is open to the public. And so Carolina and her team will continue to spotlight some pictures on there, some products, and that is your opportunity to keep an eye on that and share it to your own Facebook page, so that when you share it and you put your own personal comments, that should drive additional orders for you with your Facebook friends. So that's to help you out. It's also to just, you know, keep us out there in the public. And tying in with that, just so that you know, no customer is staying with the company. Many companies do that. They get orders from what I call orphan customers, customers who are not connected with an ambassador. They keep them direct to the company. We do not do that at Regal Home and Gifts. Everyone that comes to us as a customer will be aligned with an ambassador who is living near them. And so that is our drive for that as well. So when they go to that Facebook group at Regal Home and Gifts and they love the product and they want to buy it, we're going to take their order, but then we're going to assign them to an ambassador in their area so that you can continue to service them and get the commission on their subsequent orders. Okay, just a sideline there. Question number 8, and this is open to all 3 of you. Wendy Martin Willard asked, what do you use as the personalizing on your catalogs besides your name and your phone number? And Wendy Franko, I know that you have put out tons of catalogs, and so you definitely must have a rhythm to how you deal with that. I know you've done neighborhood mail and personalized mail tons in the past, and you continue to do in this new Regal. So Wendy, share with us what you do.
All right, thank you. Yes, I did send out 3 different groups of catalogs this particular time. So I'm just gonna, I actually went and collected them all. So on the ad mail, or whatever we call that now, personal mail, I put in introducing the first issue of Regal Home and Gifts catalog. Thank you for your past business. I'm excited to be selling for the new Regal, and I'm looking forward to helping with your orders. Then I put MasterCard, Visa, shipping and handling applies, and in brackets or little stars I had new 30-day returns. Then I had my name, your independent Regal sales rep with my number. I said call me at, and email me at my email address. So I carried that through on every single one of them except for the second line. The ones that I ordered as bulk, I ordered with, please enjoy this complimentary book and shopping from home. Don't miss the next book. Contact me to be on my mailing list. Sorry, I can't even read apparently. And then the last one, which would have been the postal walks or the neighborhood mail, the second one I said, please enjoy shopping at home with this compliment. Sorry, I think I had one other one. Anyway, get the idea. I put personalized for what I was doing. So the other thing I did last year, which I plan to do probably the 3rd or 4th book out, is I had a line that said, my records show no recent account activity. Please confirm you wish to remain on my mailing list. And I did that because, of course, as you get people on your list, sometimes they move, sometimes they change their mind, they don't like the catalog after a period of time, or whatever their reason. But it really sparked a lot of interest in people connecting with me. So lots called, said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I haven't ordered. I still want the books, which was fine. And I actually got an order, that catalog or the next one. Or I got immediate orders. They wanted to be on my list. Or I did get a couple of people saying, you know what, I love your catalogs. I love looking at them. I have everything I possibly need. I have to downsize, or I'm moving into a home or whatever, and I really would like you to save your money and take me off your list. Sometimes those people ask questions. Maybe they have family I can send it to, but usually I let them go. So yes, I put a lot of different personalizing and for what I want it to do. So you know, Christmas I'd have a deadline when I want them to order, that type of thing.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks, Wendy. And Karen?
Oh, those are all really great ideas. I just wrote them all down, Wendy, so I'm going to steal them. So I generally just have a general message on the back of my catalog that says who I am, my name, my phone number, my email address, and my website, so that there's basic information there. I usually will also put, you know, order today, you know, get your orders in today, or, you know, your Christmas orders will, you know, are due by whatever date. The thing that I like about the new catalog is you can personalize, you know, comments for different people, which I thought was really cool, because I was at my mom's on the weekend and I tested and put, you know, Mom, check this out. And sure enough, Mom, check this out was at the bottom of my greeting. So I thought that was kind of neat that you can personalize for different people. But I generally just keep it to a minimum, but certainly Wendy's ideas are terrific to encourage people to order if they haven't ordered in quite some time. Usually if you say it, will probably get a reaction like, oh no, I'm going to be taken off the list. So they, you know, might call you or email you or something to that effect.
Excellent. You ladies are great. Okay, over to Susan.
Hi. Well, to add to all of those very good ideas is kind of hard. I have put down, because I'm from a rural area, I will say please support a local business. And on my catalog this time I put Regal Home and Gifts, a Canadian company, our first catalog ownership, just so that they might take notice, you know, that there's something new about this Regal. And at Christmas I always put the last date that they can order from me by. It's not the same date that's on the front of the catalog. The first year I was delivering items on Christmas Eve, and I'm not doing that ever again. You guys can relate.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, other than all the great ideas already put forth, I really can't think of anything else. Other than they do.
Excellent. Great job, ladies. Okay, and our last question is, how do you, and it's from Lana Thacker, how do you promote your website and direct people to buy from there? And I just put in the URL that is the standard formula for each of your personal URLs. So just for those of you that may not be aware of it, on your screen it says www.regal.ca and then $AMB for ambassador equals, and then you put your 7-digit ID number there. And when you give that out to all of your customers, it ensures that they land on your personal website. They'll see your name and your contact information at the top. And then when they place their order, it automatically knows to commission you. And so you are sure to get the credit for their orders, and you don't need to have them go into the drop menu and find you or anything like that. And so this is just a sideline. So over to you again, ladies. How do you promote your website and direct the people to buy from there? Karen, you first.
Well, as it's a new website, being a whole week old, I think, I haven't been given, I shouldn't say that, the catalog, the pre-order catalogs that I went out had that put on there, fortunately. When I'm talking to people or encouraging people online, I give them that website, you know, if you'd like to order, click on this link, so that they can easily find it. So I have to memorize it myself so I can say it quickly and remember it, but I usually, it's either a verbal or email or Facebook, click on this link and it'll take you to the correct site.
Excellent. Okay, and Wendy?
Well, I sort of similar. I haven't really done too much about this new link because I'm still not used to it, and I can't see when somebody orders, so I don't know if it's working through my brand new Facebook page I've attempted to build or any of the emails I've sent out. I have had a couple of hits that I've noticed people have gone maybe looking at the catalog, but I used to have my web page on my catalog, so I would send that out. And I don't have a lot of really savvy computer shoppers. They'd rather call me and have me put the orders through, and so a lot of times I'll input them that they'll get their email confirmation and everything. I'll go on my own on that website and put them in so that their order goes to them that way. But other than that, no, I'm not. I'm a people person, so I still think order on the website, but I still like to talk to them, so I kind of still prefer that.
I like to talk to people too, but there are some people that prefer to just order online, and I go, oh, I got an order today, great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And there are others that like a catalog in their hands so that they can, mull through it. But others are, more inclined to go online, and as long as they know where to find me, they're quite happy to do it that way. But it's kind of a mix, really.
Excellent. Yeah. And e-commerce is so exciting because, as Karen just said, you could be getting orders in without even realizing it. Your store is open even when you're asleep. People are up at 1 or 2 in the morning ordering from your website. So that's always exciting to see. Let me just add to that too, that right now when you go into your back office, into that sales tools section of your website, what you're going to see there is my orders, and it will list all of your orders right now. But right now as we speak, in the works is another feature where you're going to actually see all of your customers' orders. So that is not in place yet, but your customers who are placing orders right now, it's definitely connected to you if it's using your website, or if they've connected by listing your ID. It's connected to you. So the system is working. You are going to get commissioned on those orders. But this other feature is going to be even more exciting because you'll be able to see the list of all the orders as they're happening. So imagine waking up in the morning, checking out your back office and seeing a couple of orders there that you weren't expecting. So really exciting. And so let's see here. We have a big thank you to those of you that have spoken tonight. Wendy and Carol Veltin in writing, Karen Blakely, and Susan Johnson. Thank you so much. I don't know about the rest of you on this webinar, but I've just loved watching their smiling faces as they're speaking. It just helped you to connect, didn't it? And they shared such great information. So ladies, thank you so much for giving of yourselves tonight and sharing your experience with everyone. Okay, so tomorrow night is our Leadership Forum webinar, our monthly leadership webinar, and so that is only for gold, platinum, and diamond leaders, but we're doing something different this month. We're actually going to share the recording with you after the fact. And so while not everyone can get into the webinar tomorrow, because we will deal with some leadership stuff before we get into the questions, but as we do that, we will record from the time that we are doing the questions, and we will post that and enable everyone to hear from Wendy Franko again, and from Mary Lottie and Michelle Mathers. And so we look forward to hearing from these three ladies as we cover other questions that were submitted by ambassadors. So that will be tomorrow night, and then the following day you'll have that posted in the Facebook group and on the YouTube. And so in the newsletter, the March newsletter, you'll also have the links there so that you can watch it from YouTube. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to touch on before we sign off for tonight. And so Regal Celebration, Those of you that are already registered, great job. We look forward to seeing you here. We are so excited. We're putting the program together, and it's getting more and more exciting every time we sit down and do more planning. And so with Carolina on board as the Director of Marketing, her and I are working very closely with Fred in finalizing the details of this celebration, and you are going to have a great time. So that's Saturday, April the 22nd, and then following day on the Sunday, April 23rd, advanced training for just the golds and above. And so Saturday is going to be jam-packed with a whole lot of activities. It's for all Regal ambassadors. It's limited seating, so you do need to pre-register. It says March 31st, but I'm asking you to even register before then, because we need to know what size of a room we're going to need. Carolina and I were overseeing the hotel that we really would like to go ahead with, and we're working through the details with that hotel. As soon as that is finalized, we will get those details to all of you so that you know where exactly it's going to be held, but it is going to be right in the community of where the office is, so that at the end of the day you're able to come and have a tour of the office. And so as you can see, the cost and location details will come. We're hoping to put that in the March newsletter for you. Meet the corporate team. There's going to be a whole lot of individuals from the corporate team that want to be there. They're excited to come and meet you. Also meeting one another. You know, you get to see each other or hear from each other on these webinars and on the Facebook page, but great to come together as well. An opportunity for you to order your catalogs and your products in advance and pick them up. And then we've got a jam-packed program. I mean, it says, you know, training and testimonials and prizes and fun activities, but that hardly even touches on the excitement of what we're building for you. Lunch will be included, and the cost for this is only $20. It said cost will follow, but it's only $20 if you register right now before March 31st. And so we are heavily subsidizing this event in order to have, you know, many of you joining us for that day. So lunch included, and then the office tour thereafter. So call the customer service and get yourself registered. That's the way to get registered. You call 905-814-7342 and let them know that you want to register for the Regal Celebration, and up until March 31st it's $20. Okay, we've talked a lot about Facebook pages. I'm just going to put that on the screen there. The public one, as I said, is the facebook.com/Regal Home and Gifts. There's the Regal Ambassadors, which is closed to the public. It's open just for registered ambassadors, so you need to be approved to get into that. And so there's a process. You just go to that link that you see on your screen, facebook.com/groups/Regal Ambassadors, and request entry into that. And then Regal Leaders is for just the gold, platinum, and diamond leaders, and that's facebook.com/groups/Regal Leaders. Great information shared on these Facebook groups. So everyone who has a computer really should be a part of this to stay informed on a daily basis of the things that we are posting there. We are doing our best to keep you informed with, you know, everything that is important on our monthly newsletters, but you're missing out on a whole lot in between the newsletters when you're not on the Facebook group. Okay, so I'll just leave that with you. I know that some of you are more comfortable not being part of it, but I'll leave that with you to make that decision for yourself. Month end deadline. Many of you are wondering, tomorrow is the last day of the month, so how does this all work with the new Regal? Well, it is the last business day, okay, not the last day of the month, because sometimes that'll fall on the weekend. So just so that you know, month end is the last business day of each month, and the cutoff is 5 p.m. Eastern time. Now what that means is that as long as the warehouse is there and your product has actually shipped out the door, it's been processed and shipped out, it will be counted as part of that month end. So if you are really tight to the edge where you're wanting to promote to your next commission level, and you want to make sure that you get sufficient sales in for that month in order to get that new commission level next month, you're going to want to make sure that you get that order into us at least 2 days before the deadline, because if it doesn't ship out out, it won't count for that month. Okay, so just be mindful of that when you're planning your promoting and whatnot at the end of each month. So know your sales. As I said, you're going to see your customer orders on the back office, and you already see your own personal orders. Always know what your sales are, and track that so that you can position yourself so that if you're at silver and you want to get to gold and you only need another $200, you know that, and then you can make a couple of extra calls in order to get yourself over that that final hurdle to get to the next level of commission. Okay, so what counts? It's just the product sales that count towards your promoting. Okay, just the product sales, not your sales aids. Increase this month's sales to promote to the higher level, as I said. So follow up with your customers who have a catalog and maybe they haven't placed an order yet. So follow up in your last week. You've got just 2 days right now, and so it'll be a squeeze to get it in. You'd have to place an order tonight in hopes that it will ship out tomorrow, but there's no guarantee on that. So this is information that I'm sharing not only for this month, but moving forward as well. Commission is calculated at the end of the month. So when tomorrow at 5 p.m. comes, that's the cutoff, and then we calculate what your sales were in products for the whole month of February, and then our software does that calculation, and then within 5 business days, your commission is deposited to your own personal bank account, and that's why we needed you to provide that bank account information when you filled out the application. If anyone on here has not yet given your bank account information, you need to contact customer service and make sure that we have that. Otherwise, we have no means to send commission to you. Okay, call to action. I always like to have a call to action at the end of every webinar. So what are you going to do? How about increasing your February sales so that you can get that extra commission that you would like to have in this first month of business? Get registered for the celebration event. Stay informed. Get on the Facebook pages. Read the corporate emails when they come. Watch the website. It continues to evolve. We'll continue to add extra features and extra documents and whatnot in your sales tools. So make sure that you're watching your website on a regular basis. Attend all of these webinars, or if you're not able to, listen to the recordings. We always record, and we always post the recording on the Facebook groups either the same night or the next morning, depending on how long it takes for it to download. And then the business always being open, meaning everywhere you go. You've heard the leaders say that tonight many times. You know, always have your door open for business, meaning everywhere you go, make sure you've got catalogs in hand. Make sure that as you're having some great social time, that you're talking about what it is that you love and you do. And it's a great opener to handing a catalog to those that go, wow, I know Regal. Do you have a catalog? And you don't have to say, no, I'll have to drop one off to you. Always have it with you. Okay, and then apply all the other tips that were shared here tonight. There's your contact information to get in touch with Regal Home and Gifts. Customer service is 905-814-7342, and then press 1 for customer service. Email address, I've mentioned it many times here tonight, ambassadors@regal.ca. There's also customer service@regal.ca. And then we now have 2 websites. We have the informational one where you completed your application and clicked to order your pre-order of catalogs the first time around. And so that continues to be in place, and that's regalhomeandgifts.com. That's an information website for our ambassadors. And then the other one, which is the new one that just was introduced last week, regal.ca. And as I mentioned earlier, you can add the part to that so that it becomes your own personal URL to hand out to everyone. Okay, so folks, that's it for tonight. I really appreciate the time that we've had together, and it's been great to hear from the leaders as they address those questions that came to our attention this week, and that we're more than happy to present to all of you. And so again, I'm going to open up the lines, give you an opportunity to say goodnight. It's always great to hear your voices at the end of this, and so here you go. Lines are open.
Good night.
Good night.
Was great.
Good night.
Everyone.
Very informative. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Okay, you're welcome, everyone. Good night. We'll talk to you soon.